In the quiet town of Calne, Wiltshire, a tragic story unfolded that sent shockwaves through a community and raised critical questions about domestic violence, young relationships, and the pursuit of justice. This is the horrifying tale of Ellie Gould, a young woman whose life was cut short by a brutal act of violence. Ellie Gould, born on February 6, 2002, was a bright and beloved teenager. Hailing from Calne, Wiltshire, Ellie had a promising future ahead of her. She was a dedicated student at Hardinwish School in Chippenham, where she stood out not only academically but also for her vibrant personality and strong sense of community. Ellie was not just an ordinary teenager, she had a passion for music and excelled as a talented singer. Her love for animals and environmental causes highlighted her empathy and dedication to making a positive impact on the world. Ellie's ambitions to join the mounted police and study psychology at university showcased her determination to contribute meaningfully to society. However, Ellie's seemingly promising life took a dark turn when she entered a relationship with Thomas Griffiths in early 2019. What began as an innocent connection soon spiraled into a toxic and controlling dynamic. At first, the relationship between Ellie and Griffiths appeared ordinary. Yet, beneath the surface, a disturbing pattern emerged. Griffiths' possessive behavior escalated over time, with constant texting, demands for information, and threats of self-harm if Ellie dared to leave. Friends and family noticed Ellie's change in demeanor as she became increasingly isolated and anxious. The ominous clouds of Ellie's deteriorating relationship with Griffiths cast a long shadow that eventually culminated in a night of unspeakable horror. On May 3, 2019, a day that was meant to mark the beginning of Ellie's journey into adulthood, she met a tragic fate. Griffiths, unable to accept Ellie's decision to end their relationship, entered her home unannounced. What followed was a gruesome act of violence, a heinous combination of strangulation and stabbing that ended Ellie's life. The crime scene was described by investigators as horrific, a testament to the depth of Griffiths' brutality. Ellie Gould's tragic story serves as a stark reminder of the devastating impact of domestic violence and the urgent need for societal change. The horrifying events that unfolded in Calne, Wiltshire, shed light on the alarming prevalence of abusive relationships and the devastating consequences they can have on young lives. As we delve deeper into the details of Ellie's life, her relationship with Thomas Griffiths, and the aftermath of her untimely death, it becomes evident that her case is not just an isolated incident, but a reflection of a broader issue that demands our attention. Personal background of Ellie Gould. Ellie Gould's life was brimming with promise and potential. Born on February 6, 2002, in Calne, Wiltshire, she was a beloved daughter and sister. From a young age, Ellie's vibrant spirit and passion for life were evident. She excelled academically at Hardinwish School in Chippenham, where she was known for her bright intellect and active involvement in school and community activities. Her love for music and her remarkable singing talents earned her a special place among her peers. Moreover, her passion for animal welfare and environmental conservation showcased her compassionate nature and her desire to make a positive impact on the world. The early signs of trouble in the relationship. In the whirlwind of teenage romance, Ellie crossed paths with Thomas Griffiths in early 2019. Their relationship began as many do, with laughter, shared interests, and dreams of a promising future together. Yet, as time went on, the picture grew darker. What initially seemed like a fairy tale romance soon turned into a nightmare of control and manipulation. Griffith's possessive behavior escalated rapidly, marked by incessant texting, demands to know her whereabouts, and threats of self-harm if she dared to end their relationship. Friends and family noticed Ellie's transformation from a confident young woman to someone who was increasingly anxious and withdrawn. The murder scene and aftermath. May 3, 2019, would forever be etched in the annals of tragedy. On that fateful day, Griffiths entered Ellie's home unannounced. What ensued was a horrifying act of violence that defies comprehension. He strangled Ellie, snuffing out her young life, and then, with chilling determination, he stabbed her 13 times in the neck. The aftermath of this gruesome scene was a blood-soaked kitchen, the sight of a young life extinguished far too soon. It was Ellie's father who returned home from work to discover this nightmarish tableau, prompting the call to authorities and leading to Griffith's swift arrest. The impact on Ellie's family and friends. The ripples of Ellie's murder extended far beyond the confines of her home. The shockwaves reverberated through her family, friends, and the community at large. Ellie's parents, Matthew and Carol, were forced to navigate the incomprehensible pain of losing their vibrant daughter to an act of unfathomable cruelty. The courtroom became a crucible of emotions as they endured the trial, a process that demanded they relive the nightmare over and over. Throughout it all, they displayed remarkable resilience, a testament to their determination to ensure Ellie's story would not be forgotten. The profound pain experienced by Ellie's friends further underscored the urgent need to address the scourge of domestic violence. Formation of the Ellie Gould Foundation. Out of the darkness emerged a glimmer of hope. The Ellie Gould Foundation. Established in 2020 by Ellie's family and friends, the foundation embodies Ellie's spirit and seeks to honor her memory by combating the very issue that cut her life short. Their mission is twofold: to raise awareness about the harrowing reality of domestic violence and to provide resources and support to victims who desperately need help. Through a helpline, counseling services, and educational programs, the foundation extends a lifeline to those ensnared in abusive relationships. It serves as a beacon of hope for those who might otherwise feel trapped in the shadows of fear and despair. Ellie's law and legal reforms. The outrage sparked by Ellie's tragic fate galvanized a movement for change. The collective call for justice was loud and clear, leading to the inception of Ellie's Law. This proposed legislation seeks to address the shortcomings in the legal system that allowed Griffiths to escape the possibility of a whole life tariff due to his age at the time of sentencing. Ellie's Law aims to hold perpetrators of heinous crimes more accountable, signaling that society will not tolerate violence against its most vulnerable members. The proposed changes have the potential to send a resounding message. Domestic violence is a grave offense that merits severe consequences. Wider social impact and ongoing efforts. Ellie's story transcends the confines of a single tragedy. It has ignited a national conversation about domestic violence and the urgent need for reform. The public outcry following her murder catalyzed discussions about the pervasive nature of abusive relationships, prompting introspection on how society can better protect its members. Ellie's legacy lives on in the hearts of those who knew her, as well as in the collective determination to prevent such tragedies from recurring. People from all walks of life are demanding increased awareness, education, and support for victims. The case of Ellie Gould has spurred a movement toward lasting change. In conclusion, the horrifying story of Ellie Gould stands as a stark reminder of the pervasive issue of domestic violence that lurks within our communities. Ellie's life was tragically cut short, but her legacy lives on through the efforts of her loved ones and the organizations dedicated to preventing future tragedies. Her story compels us to reflect on the importance of speaking out against abuse, supporting victims, and advocating for changes in the legal system. By working together, we can honor Ellie's memory and create a safer world for generations to come. A world where no one has to endure the darkness of an abusive relationship. Ellie's murder sent shockwaves throughout her community, leaving her family and friends grappling with grief, anger, and a fervent determination to seek justice. The pain inflicted upon Ellie's family was immeasurable. Her mother, Carol Gould, courageously channeled her grief into advocating for change. Ellie's friends, united in their sorrow, rallied to ensure that Ellie's memory would serve a greater purpose. Together, they embarked on a journey to raise awareness about domestic violence and support those who needed it most. In the midst of tragedy, a glimmer of hope emerged as Ellie's loved ones founded the Ellie Gould Foundation, an organization dedicated to combating domestic violence and providing support for victims. The foundation's impact has been far-reaching, offering vital resources such as helplines, counseling services, and educational programs. Ellie's legacy lives on through this foundation, reminding everyone of the urgency to address the silent epidemic of domestic violence and offer solace to those affected. Ellie's tragic story spurred a national conversation and led to significant legal changes, including the proposed Ellie's Law. Ellie's Law seeks to increase penalties for those who commit acts of extreme violence and strangulation. Spearheaded by Ellie's family and supporters, this law aims to send a strong message that domestic violence will not be tolerated and justice will be served. While this law represents a step forward, challenges remain in the fight against domestic abuse. The devastating loss of Ellie Gould reverberated far beyond the boundaries of Calm, sparking a larger discussion about domestic violence prevention and education. Ellie's case prompted a collective call for societal change. Many individuals and organizations recognize the urgency to educate and raise awareness about the signs of domestic violence, empowering potential victims to seek help and allies to offer support. The tragic fate that befell Ellie ignited a determination to create a safer world for young women everywhere. Ellie Gould's story is a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk behind closed doors and the importance of standing up against domestic violence. As we remember Ellie's life, let us also remember the promise of hope that lies in each effort to raise awareness, support victims, and advocate for lasting change. Thank you for joining us on this journey to understand the tragic events surrounding Ellie Gould's life and death. May her memory inspire us all to work tirelessly toward a world free from violence and fear. If you or someone you know is in need of help or support, remember that resources are available, including the Ellie Gould Foundation and the National Domestic Violence Hotline.